Welcome students. Today we are going to see the next video of this topic phase diagram. So in this video we are going to see the rules for solid solubility. If I consider the binary isomorphous system phase diagram, don't worry, we are going to see it in great details. But just assume that right now we are having this binary isomorphous phase diagram. It will be like this, or it is simply called as the Lenz diagram. So here is the component A and B. Say this is the percentage of X in B. Here A 100%, here B 100%, and here is above this line liquidus, and this is the solidus. So everything is in liquid state, and here in this region we are having liquid plus alpha, and below the solidus we are having the solid phase alpha. So dear students, here are the two components A and B, and we are going to check the solid solubility for these two components. So what are the rules which are very important to get these A and B soluble in each other? So dear students, the first rule says that the atomic size difference between these A and B should be less than 15%. So then and then only the phase diagram can be possible. So when A and B, their atomic size differences are less than 15%. So if I take the example of, say, I want to have the solid solubility between aluminum and, say, silicon. So dear students, if you see this atomic radii, the atomic radii of aluminum, so it is how much? It is 0.143 nanometer. And if I check the atomic radii for the silicon, it is 0.117. So if you want to see the size difference between these two, what will be it is? So 0.143 minus 0.113 divided by 0.143 into 100 in percentage. If I say, it will be around 18.2%. So students, whether A and B are soluble in each other, so when there should be the atomic size difference less than 15%, then only it is possible. But see here how much it is, the difference is 18.2%. So we cannot have the solubility of aluminum and silicon. So to have this solid solubility, the first thing is that the atomic size difference should be less than 15%. Okay. Now the second rule, what it says, so the two elements should have the similar kind of crystal structure. So it should be satisfied, that is same crystal structure condition should be satisfied. So for example, I can have the solubility in, say, BCC2 BCC structure, that is body centered cubic to body centered cubic. I can have FCC2 FCC. I can have HCP2 HCP. Okay, like that. These are all the simple cubic structures. Cubic structures. I can have BCC2 FCC. Okay, like that. There should be the same crystal structure of these two elements. Say for example, if I take, dear students, the germanium. germanium plus silicon. Which crystal structure they are having, dear students? They are having the diamond cubic structure. Diamond cubic structure. If I take this bismuth plus antimony, Bi plus antimony Sb. So they are having the hexagonal crystal structure. If I take the copper and nickel, okay, they are having the FCC structure. So to have the solid solubility, the second very important rule is what? These two elements should have the same crystal structure. This is the second. Now, the third rule is what? The electronegativity difference. Please, this electronegativity difference should be very less. What will happen if this difference is very huge? So, whenever there is a huge electronegativity difference, so there are chances of the compound formation. Compound formation will be there. Like example of, if you take the sodium and chlorine, have the very huge electronegativity difference, and they are forming the compound NaCl, isn't it? So the electronegativity difference should be very less. And the last point is very important, that is the valency of these components A and B should be, valency difference rather I can say, it should be very less, or they should be same. So if for example of valency of copper and nickel, just now I told you, the valency of both is generally 2, isn't it? So valency should be same, or the difference between the valency of these two elements should be very less. So these are, dear students, the very important uh, rules for the solid solubility, and these rules were given by the William Hume Rothery long back from Oxford University. Okay, so these rules are also known as the Hume-Rothery rules for solid solubility. That is William Hume-Rothery rules for solid solubility. Okay, or simply the Hume-Rothery rules. So, thank you so much, students, for joining EICTA.